All right, welcome back to another edition of Sling Pain Gaming. I am Berto, and tonight we're going to talk about Wave 11 expansions. Now, we're not going to do all three in one. We'll actually do three separate videos because there's a lot to talk about for each individual ship. But what they released is amazing. I love these new ships. I'm definitely going to be probably buying all three just so I have one for each in my collection. But I may buy some more of those Rebel ship, which is the Auzituck Gunship, which, I mean, it is unbelievable. A 180 firing arc. Love it. We're going to talk more about it in a couple seconds here. But they also released the Scourge H6 bomber for the Imperials and also the a Scourge H6 bomber for the Scum and TIE Aggressor for the Imperials, which finally has a turret. But we'll do a separate video for the Scourge and the TIE Aggressor. But for this video, we're going to talk about the Auzituck Gunship. This is a Wookiee gunship. All right. So some of the information here, I tried to pull up some information from Wikipedia here, and it says that the Appanzana Engineering Works Auzituck anti-slaver gunship was a Wookiee gunship used to battle slavers. The interiors were made from the Worcester trees. I might be saying that wrong. With the sap serving as glue. Yeah, you heard it right. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, this thing, space worthy, the whole 9 yards. And this is what it's got, the same picture that I'm seeing on Wikipedia. Actually, you know what? Let me bring up Wikipedia so you guys can see this real fast. Let's bring it over so you guys can see this, right? It says it right there. It says the interiors were made from Worcester trees with the sap serving as glue. I don't think that's made from Worcester trees. Maybe they have the wrong picture or this and that. I'm not sure. But it was basically, it says one such vessel served as a freedom fighter against the Galactic Empire, was contracted to meet the crew of the Ghosts by the Sictro Visigoth. I'm always going to butcher these names. But by the time it arrived, it had been raided by the Trandoshan slavers and left adrift, and the crew had been sold to the Empire. Another gunship was later rendezvous with the Ghosts to recover the Wookiee crew they had rescued. And this just goes more into it. A lot of behind the scenes. It was in Star Wars Rebels. You can see some of the appearance here. I'll put the link to Wikipedia down below. But look, I mean, this is the spread, right? This is the new ships that we're seeing for Wave 11. And I'm just going to go right into the gunship itself. Take a look at that. That thing is phenomenal looking. I love the looks of this ship. And like the first thing I noticed right off the bat was the firing arc. All right, this is the same symbols that you see on the Trandoshan slaver, and you see the dotted lines there. So it's got a 180 firing arc. That's what I'm assuming based on these pictures here. And let's just go right into the cards and the stats and what have you. But right off the bat, you see that you have, for all of these pilots, you have two actually generic pilots and two unique pilots, right? You actually have attack value of 3, which is great. Agility of 1, 6 hull, 3 shields. I like that stat line. That's actually a pretty beefy ship. It can take some hits. And with a 180 firing arc, that's huge. Now, I'm seeing the symbols for the 180 firing arc, but it also has this reinforce action, which we're going to get into a sec here. But what I wanted to do is just kind of give you guys a full spread so you guys can see this without my seeing my mug on the bottom of the screen. But look at this spread. This is pretty much the only teasers that they give for this particular ship. They do show the reinforce action card, which we'll get into in a sec. But 3 attack, 1 6 hull, 1 agility, 6 hull, 3 shields. I love it. It's got double crew slot. Now I don't know what the unique pilots have, if it has an EPT or an elite pilot's slot for it. I'm not sure. But double crew, I like that. It gives a lot of options. Let's say, you can see that the cost for the one pilot skill value, which is the Kashyyyk Defender, is 24 points. So probably putting maybe the unique, maybe the 7 and the 5, maybe in the 27, 28, 29 point, maybe 30. Depending on these abilities and stuff. The dial, you don't see too much with the dial. You only see the hard 3. I wish I could I would love to see more of the dial. But look at the tokens. You got shield tokens, and you just got 2 reinforce, which is unique. And then you also got a focus token, crit, and stress, and the identifiers. You do see which I can't make the name Lowenrick. I can't see that other pilot skill, the unique. But the one that you see up here, the unique one, is actually Wolfwaro, is also seen in Star Wars Rebels series. So you see him in the Star Wars Rebels series, that one particular episode that actually has the that was the pilot that was one of the pilots that were rescued. So he was in that. And I love the history of the ship, and I love the history of the pilots in here. I'm actually loving that they're including the ship in here. It's a great ship, and I love the stat line, especially for the Rebels. I wish it had some more other options here as far as the upgrade bar, but with some of the pilots, like if you wanted to put a Sabine on there, that opens up a bomb slot. With Sabine's the crew card. So there's a couple different things here. Also, you see as far as the action bar, you see a focus and you see a reinforce. Now, everybody's like, reinforce, isn't that an epic thing? Yes, it is. They brought the coordinate, which with the Upsilon class shuttle, they brought the coordinate action in from the epic. Now they're bringing the reinforce. And if you guys don't know what the reinforce does, basically, as an action, there's a fore side and an aft side to the ship. So if you look at the actual ship line, that half line right there, all right, the front is the fore, the back is the aft, if you guys don't know that. Now, the fore, right, it says if you actually take the reinforce action, you have to declare, do you want the fore side or the back side? If you want the fore side, basically, you get it. The tokens face up and attacker is inside the defender's firing arc, add 1 evade result. If it's in the aft side of the token is face up and the attacker's is not inside the defender's firing arc, add 1 evade result. So basically it helps. So there's a fore and there's an aft section. You can see the difference between here for the reinforced token. A ship with the reinforced token says basically can perform a reinforced action. When a small or large ship performs a reinforced action, choose either fore or aft of the double side of a reinforced token and place that token on the side face up near the ship token. So fore, aft, fore, aft. Make sure you got the symbols right, because I can guarantee those symbols are really close together. So I guarantee people will make probably a mistake. So I would probably see when people, declaring fore, and you got to make sure that you put that fore, that you flip over the right fore section. But basically just adds in an evade result. That's huge. I mean, I love that. You also, I like that it gives 4 pilots, and it gives a bunch of upgrades here. So before I get into the ones that you can see, it looks like you have what looks like an intimidation. I'm thinking tactician. I can't really read the middle card here, but it looks like it's another crew. I do see an elite card, two elite cards here. So I'm wondering with this elite card, which 2 pilot skills? Does the 7 and a 5? Does Wolfwaro actually have the elite only, or does the 5 too? So that would be interesting to see once they give more information about the set. But look at this, the Wookiee Commandos, Rebel only. It's a double crew. Now, when I first looked at this, I was scratching my head. I said, when attacking, it says you may re-roll your focus results for 1 point double crew slot. So I'm thinking, okay, 1 point double crew slot. It's not a unique, so you basically can outfoot 4 Kashyyyk defenders, all with Wookiee Commandos. But is it worth it? Do you really want to take that valuable crew slot up? But it says when attacking, you may re-roll your focus results. That, really depends. If you want to reinforce, and your whole thing is about staying alive and reinforcing your ship as your action, right? This may help you. You might want to do a reinforce, and this basically gives you an ability to re-roll any focus results. Because how many times you roll 2 hits in a focus, and that focus just sits there, or you roll all focus. So this allows you to basically re-roll any of your focus results. So it helps with the dice manipulation for 1 point. Now, a lot of people have been talking about, is it worth it? Does it make sense? I have a funny feeling that this Wookiee Commando card, this double crew slot, is definitely going to integrate, I think, with the abilities of the 2 unique pilots. That's just a funny feeling I have. I wouldn't be surprised. Usually, you see a lot of when Fantasy Flight Games, when they release cards like this, sometimes it does match up to the unique abilities. So I'd be pretty interesting. Now, selflessness, you see this. It says, I'm not going to try to read the card to you, but basically it's small ship only. It's unique. That's where we're thinking it's called selflessness. I'm not sure. I would think so. If you look up the dictionary and you type those letters in, pretty much selflessness is probably the only word that comes up. But it says something about range, something with attack. And it says uncanceled. So what I'm thinking results instead do something else. So they'd be unique on what actually you would see there. But if you think about it, if you want to fly 4 of these bad boys together with all Wookiee commandos, that's 25 points for each ship. 4 of them, you could fit basically 4 of them on the board. That's great. I like that. And then you can reinforce to basically to give some extra evade actions to that 1 agility that you already have. Pretty interesting. I like that. Now, if this only has the crew slots, and sometimes they put some other stuff on, they usually add the extra EPT. I'm wondering if it's going to have anything else for the unique pilots, but I doubt it highly based on what I'm seeing here. But they put tactician, what I think is tactician on here. Basically, after you have a firing arc, you basically person firing you in range 2, I believe, you get you give that person a stress token. When you're firing at them at range 2, you give them a stress token. So if, working with some stress mechanics, I like that they threw that in here. That's pretty intense. But I'm still I keep gravitating to those Wookiee commandos and kind of really want to see what those unique pilots. This does have what it looks like the 180 firing arc. And everybody's like, well, why do you have the main firing arc? Well, remember, the Trandoshan Slaver has the 180 firing arc, and it still's got the primary firing arc in there. And the reason why it has that there for missiles, you can only shoot secondary weapons out, even the cannons out that front arc, unless you have one of the other pilots that allows you to shoot with the 180 arc. But here, it's a 180 firing ship. And I like that you have the ability of a pilot skill value 1, right, with a 180 firing arc. You know how many times I always get arc dodge with a pilot skill value 2, like the Baby Blues or like the Novice Blue Squadron T-70 ships. You always get those people arc dodging right out of the arc. It's going to be hard to get out of that 180 arc. I have to admit that. So that gives you some flexibility. And for 24 points, if you needed a filler, right, and you wanted something different than a T-70, maybe a little bit bulkier that has a 180 firing arc, gives you more options, especially with some rerolls ability with the Wookiee Commandos card, that's not a bad option instead of a T-70. I mean, you can definitely explore that. And like I said before, you can outfit, Sabine on here, and it gives a bomb option because of Sabine's crew card opens up a bomb slot automatically. So that's an option too. So, I mean, this does give you a lot of different new things to play with and think about, especially with the reinforce action. They're adding that extra ability. When you're about to get barraged from a range 1 attack or this and that, or even a farther range, and you just want to keep your ships alive as much as you can, it's basically almost a guaranteed evade, which is actually is a guaranteed pretty much evade result, which is nice. It's you're adding that extra evade. Again, tying more of those epic plays to this ship. So as far as builds, this and that, I think I personally think that this ship is going to see some play action. Depending on what those unique pilot abilities are, being a 7, I like that. So if you wanted to run, if it has the EPT slot, which I'm assuming based on the upgrade cards, you potentially can put, VI in there to get to a 9. Now, it doesn't have any positioning ability, doesn't have any of that, but with the 180 firing arc, I mean, that's pretty nice. I really like that. You could put a modification on here, put vector thrusters on here if you want, and any modification could pretty much go on here that's allowed for small base ships and Rebel. And you basically you have some potential barrel roll actions, so that's an option as well. So there's a couple different things, and if you want to run push the limit on a pilot skill value 7 and with a modification of vector thrusters, that gives you basically maybe ability to move yourself, position yourself where you need to be, and you're towards the higher end of the pilot skill value, where you can actually get position yourself and then get behind an enemy firing arc, and then basically set up for a focus as your extra action if you want, and then basically allow you to to get some more dice results. So it does open the ground for a lot more different combinations and a filler ships. If you want that 180 firing arc, I mean, that's a nice little tank there. I like this. Like I said, I really like this ship. I know I'm going to be buying. Probably me. I'd probably be buying 4 of them, because if I can fit 4 on a board, more likely I'd probably be buying 4, just to run and have fun. I mean, honestly. But as far as a competitive side, where does this ship lie? Actually, with the beefy hull, with the shields, right, with the 180 firing arc, with the reinforced to help out, and maybe even with the Wookiee Commandos. If I need 25 points, I have 25 points left to fill something like that. Might want to fill it with a Kashyyyk instead of a T-70 Blue Squadron. It's a 1. It's going to move first, right? But with a 180 firing arc, I mean, that's going to be difficult to arc dodge. This ship. So, like I said, it'll be very interesting to see what people come up with in combinations, and also with these abilities and some of these other cards, and what selflessness is, and with this other card in the middle, something BR specs or something. I'm not sure what it is, but looks like a droid, and looks like he's shooting out gas of some sort. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like pretty interesting. All right, so this was the Auzituck gunship. All right. You got the Kashyyyk Defender. It looks like Wookiee something, probably Wookiee Pilot, Wookiee Defender, or something like that. But what do you guys think of this ship? All right, I mean, this ship is insane. Like I said, I definitely think you're going to see a lot of it being played, especially in the casual play area, and people testing out, and they want to see it. I've always liked the triple hounds. I used to play the hounds or combinations of hounds in some other ships or whatever. And I think with the 180 firing arc, it was nice. I'm hoping this dial is pretty decent, and it's got some green maneuvers on there. So if you want to run the 7 with Wolf Arrow on it, and basically have pushed the limit and give you some other options with vector thrusters and give you some positioning ability, I'm hoping that's going to happen. We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out when they release more articles and release more goodies for this. But I love this ship. We're gonna definitely talk about the other Wave 11 ships in the next upcoming videos here. But I wanted to make sure we get you guys' thoughts on this ship and this ship only. Let me know what your comments are. Leave them in the description below. Also, if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. That lets us know you guys love us and we're doing the right thing for you guys, and you guys like our content. Also, if you want to support us, all right. Every support that you guys send really helps us do a lot of different things. One, it allows us to increase our production value, and it actually allows us to do a lot more different things. Allows us to buy software, allows us to buy other hardware, cameras, you name it, lights. Like I got big lights staring at me right now. Allows us to do a lot of cool things. Also allows us to go to tournaments and record events and basically help pay for that. When we don't get a lot of money from this and all the stuff like that, so any support helps. Also, a couple of ways you can join Team SPG. We have our Vassal Team SPG League going on there as well. Team SPG helps us too. Tokens, if you guys check out all our token store, we got tons of X-Wing tokens. Love the colors and different things, and also our t-shirts. Also check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also our website and community.slinkpaint.com. Again, all the links are below. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to do the next video. Which one should we do? You know what? We're going to do the Skurg H6 because I think everybody's been talking about filing a bomber for Scum. And then the last video we'll do for Wave 11 is the TIE Aggressor turret action for Imperials. Oh, I know so many people are so happy about that. All right. Thanks, guys. And remember, always, when you sling more paint than your opponent does, you're probably going to win.